April 16th, 2014. Guys, we've had a 5.1 quake in Alaska at 76.2 kilometers depth. It's a deep quake. Also, on the left of this, in the Ring of Fire, Japan is active. Now, it's just been four point or 5 4-point quakes there, but it's a lot of pressure in that area. But, guys, this quake here is in a trigger, and it's a key point in the Yellowstone history. This is called the Denali Fault. Now, if you look back at it or Google Denali Fault, you can see a lot of amazing images as this thing winds through these mountains. But it creates pressure, and that fault winds right down into the areas we're talking about. Yellowstone, Idaho, up in the northwest of the country. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. I want to pull up some history here. But, guys, the reason I want to do this now is because this is in Montana. These are the latest earthquake charts there. Look at that. This is at current as I'm recording. I'm going to do this up fast. Now we're looking at Yellowstone National Park. You can see the majority of this first shock is over. But this is triggered all the way from Alaska. Again, the Denali Fault, you need to study it. This 64 quake that was associated with it was a 9.2, second largest quake ever recorded. It was the strongest was the 60 Valdivia quake in Chile. But guys, it generated tsunamis. You can see the pictures on the right how it destroyed 4th Avenue in Anchorage, Alaska. It was incredible. Now here you can see that in some of the harbors 27-foot tsunamis. But guys, this tsunami peaked at 226 feet high. I'm going to show you some of the details of this thing, but look at this. But again, this area triggers the Yellowstone. It's always a precursor. And just before the 59 quake in Alaska that we talked about, the 7.3, this is the Good Friday quake we're talking about here in Alaska. But just before the 59 quake in Yellowstone, there was one here, a 7-point also. But this one, that's what a 9.2 does. You don't think God can shake this earth? Look at that, guys. Look at those houses. This is where it was generated from in 64. You see that in 10 hours, this thing was in down in southern Mexico, guys. 5 hours. It was up in the Washington State area. This is how it generated all through the earth. Second largest ever recorded. Denali Fault. Now, you guys pay attention because we got about 3 things leading up to a very possible event. That's because we're seeing Yellowstone. We're seeing Idaho increase. The reports, look back on a couple of videos, that the magma's increasing. But listen, this tsunami was generated to 20 countries. Listen, in Suet Bay, Alaska, 67 meters. Guys, that's 226.4, I think, feet. You understand what we're talking about here? That's tremendous, and the damage was tremendous. But that's what we're dealing with, and I'm in the middle of a solar update when that quake alert come in. And as soon as I saw it, I knew what we were dealing with. Now, again, the 7.5, that's called at Hebgen Lake, Montana, Yellowstone in 59. He believes the Denali Fault ruptured in such a direction from northwest to southeast, and that's what I'm talking about, because if you check the earthquake records, there was a 7-point in Alaska just before that one. But look at the tracks. Guys, that's telling you the force of that tsunami in this earthquake as it pushed this through. Look at the engine. Crushed it. 226-foot wave. There's forests that are still there that were inundated and destroyed by salt water that died off. That's happened before. But you're seeing 1959 quakes in that area, then this big 64 quake, guys. What have we got in there? 54 years approximately. Now we got pressure building. This is the time to pay attention. Heads up, be safe. I'll have the solar report up. I was almost finished with it when I got the quake report in, so it won't be long, guys. Heads up.